The Bills make you wanna go Weber. Throw your hands up and Weber.
What's up? What's
Make
up?
it
What's
wanna
up?
go Weber. What's going on, Vinny? How's
How you doing, my
everybody
brother?
doing? I was trying to think of something that popped in my mind, and I was like, all right, whatever, let's do it. I wanted to be more animated, but hey, it is what it is.
And for those that
Well,
understand,
yeah.
Wepa means Bills make you want to shout. So it's kind of a similar thing, but in Spanish.
There you go. So sounds good. Uh Man, you just messed me all up. I'm like all over the place now.
My bad, my bad.
No, it's
And
all
because hey,
good.
we got a lot of news, man. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So
Yeah, we
it's
do.
like pick your poison, where you want to start, where you want to finish. So I know we're gonna kind of be all over the place today, but we're gonna get everything covered. Anything Bills today covered.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, we have a lot of stuff, like you said. Finally, we have some stuff to work with. Jesus, we're
Something.
not just reaching all over the place. First thing I want to do actually is I don't know if you got yours. So I have my Bills Mafia's hat. I went and bought one. They
Sweet.
actually donate money to a good cause. I've had this for a while now. But what I want to do is say thank you to Bill Hatch because I took my patch he said he was going to send us, and I ended up putting it on
Nice.
my hat. So it's on my Bills
Sweet.
Mafia hat with the Bills Stormtrooper Bills hatch patch here. Thank you again. Thanks
Nice.
for being on the show. Thanks for spending time with us, and thanks for
Appreciate it,
keeping your
man.
word and sending it. So there's a
Hey,
little patch.
look what I got.
There you go. See,
I
you
got
got it.
mine too. It's
It was
gonna go
funny.
right over here. What? Which side? What?
But
Right over
I didn't
here.
want to cover the little
There you go.
logo, so I put it on this side where it was empty. I was like, where could I put this? I thought it was a pretty cool idea to stick it on there. So
Well, I'm gonna cover my. This is a new era cap, so I'm gonna wind up covering it sooner or later anyway.
they actually it's no longer new era. We'll touch
No
on that
longer
a
new
little bit
era.
earlier. But it was funny
Yes,
because
sir.
I remember saying on the show, Bill, where's the patch, Bill? And then I think I got it the next day or 2 days later. I was just
I
busting chops,
know.
Bill. But thanks again.
Yeah, big
And
shout out to Bill Hatch, man.
yeah,
Stormtrooper, appreciate it, brother.
and we'll have him on again during the season at some point.
Yes,
Hopefully he'll
sir.
come on and he'll be more relaxed and maybe he'll actually say something bad about a player.
Well,
I
no,
doubt it.
I don't think
I
it's gonna
doubt
happen, man. I doubt it, man. You
it.
know, he goes on the field with them guys, hangs out with them guys. He's not gonna down say nothing about
No.
nobody. He's gonna be positive about it, which is cool. I respect that. What would
Yeah.
you do if you was in this position? Would you say such and such is garbage, or would you just
Yeah, I guess the main players I probably just leave it alone. But some guys I'm like, hey man, you need to step up or whatever. I'd bust
Yes,
chops.
sir.
And, they're going to get it from everywhere. They might not want to hear
Yeah,
it from
man.
him. So I know
Them
it's
guys
just
are professionals. They're in stadiums, 50, 60,000 people,
yeah.
away games talking crap to them. As long as they don't handle things like Brian Cox out of Miami, we're all right. So,
Yeah. Well, his son's trying to make the team with us, so let's
yes,
see
sir.
how that goes. Uh, just quick here, I guess we could hit on this. According to multiple reporters, there are only 9 players on the NFL's reserve COVID-19 list. So out of 32 teams and over 2,560 players in camp right now, to only have 9 players positive on that list,
That's
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 pretty damn good.
that's gravy, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I know.
Uh-oh.
On the other hand, the Mets just came hot off the press a little while ago. 2 players tested positive, so they actually canceled tonight's game
Okay.
and 2 games. I think next game with the Yankees, and they flew the team back to New York, except the 2 players that were positive. So,
Positive.
I don't know how they're gonna try to see the contact, who they had contact with before, and trying to break it all down. But I mean, it can happen. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? We're positive. There's only 9 out of
Mhm.
32 teams. But, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos of the guys practicing, but they're actually, they're hitting, they're grabbing, they're playing, they got pads on. So,
Yeah.
they're definitely contact. So we're going to see how that plays out in the next week or so.
Well, hopefully it keeps going along the same route. I mean, now they're hitting, like you said, but they've been around each other. They've been
Yeah,
running routes and doing stuff. So, hopefully it stays like this. I mean,
absolutely.
plus, like when we said before, there was a bunch of false positives. And the NFL, yeah, the NFL is going to see if they work with somebody to cut back on those false positives. But hey,
Yeah.
man, This is great news. So
Yes, sir.
let's keep it going.
I'm
Uh,
excited.
yeah, I mean, it's looking very promising. Tonight, like I said, 9 players out over 2,500. That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Now, we talked about Spencer Long last week, saying, the Bills cut him. San Fran picked him up. He lasted, 8 days with the 49ers, and he called it quit after 6 seasons in the NFL. So, I mean, good for him. I guess he had enough. He went over there in San Fran. It was probably too hot. Like the weather.
All the fires going on and everything.
I'm out of here. That too. What was that? Fire tornadoes or something like that? What the heck?
Crazy stuff going on. Yeah, prayers for them guys over there in California, man. They're going through it for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So good to him. Good for him and his family. I guess he gets to spend more time at home now. Another guy, I'm bringing this up because I told you I would have taken a shot on him, was AJ Green of the Cincinnati Bengals. Practice on Monday. Tweaked his hamstring. They held him out of practice, and he hasn't practiced since. And they were supposed to have almost like a little mini scrimmage for tomorrow, and they're saying he's a no-go. So I guess the Bills are good. We're lucky not to have traded anybody or anything for him. I mean, the guy's right back in the ship. I wish he wasn't, but man, he sat out all last year. Can't get straight. His body, I don't know, man. It's taking.
Hopefully, it was just a little tweaking. He could get through it, work through it. I mean, there is how many more days before the season starts? 24 days, right?
25, I think. 24, 25. I think there was 25 days. Yeah. So
I don't know if it's a hammy. That's
a
a tough one, man. With a hammy, that's 24 days. Probably ain't gonna cut the muscle. If he comes back, it'll probably, I guess, week 2, week 3.
Maybe
at best.
Yeah, and even if he sits, the next 25 days, comes back in, that's your hamstring, man. You start running those routes full speed, bam.
He's gonna be he's definitely gonna be ginger on it, man. That's a tough injury to overcome, man. We talked about injuries and how you could be ginger on an injury, and that's one of those injuries that I've had problems with my hamstrings and ankles before, and that's rough, man. That's a rough one because any wrong move while when you heal, any wrong move and you tweak it, remember Sammy Watkins had the same issues with the hamstring also.
Yeah.
So I think even Devin Singletary had lost. What did he do? He missed a couple games because of a hammy also.
I think he tweaked it last year too. Yeah. No, I remember when just screwing around, we'd go play tackle football every Sunday when we were older, and I was pulling my hamstrings like every weekend.
When you're older, shoot, I'm so old now, I can tweak my hamstring getting out of bed. So
I was like, that's it, I'm done. Let it for the young kids.
Yes, sir.
Then the news also one time, Chris 7-Eleven. Hogan signs with the New York Jets for 1 year.
He's been with the whole AFC.
I
He's
know.
like the AFC. I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say the AFC hooker, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Boy, you still went there.
I kind of mumbled it. You kind of figured out what I was gonna say. But he's been through the whole AFC. He's been through the Jets. He's been everywhere. So I think
he started with Miami, right? And they cut him, and then the Bills picked him up.
Yep.
And that's where he got that nickname, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great player, though. I wish him the best. So
me too. I always liked him. I wanted the Bills to re-sign him when they let him go, and then New England picked him up. But luckily for him, hey man, he got 2 Super Bowl rings, 2 or 3, I think 2. So good for him. See if he makes it. He comes back to Jersey, even though it's the New York Jets. He played football in Monmouth County.
You ain't right.
College. So
you ain't even right.
Why? It's the truth, man. Come on. It's the truth. All right, let's go on. Move on a little here. I'm going to skip this. Or we could talk about this real quick. Actually, no, I'll skip that for later. One thing we do know, I got notes all over the place with all these things changing, by the way. The Bills, man. You can tell. The stadium. Bills Stadium for now.
Bills Stadium, who would have thought it would just be old Bills Stadium, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I know, rumblings were they wanted Marv Levy, call it Marv Levy Stadium. And there's a couple of people that are actually interested in acquiring the rights to the name, and I think it's Barstool Sports. I don't know if you read about that.
Yeah, I saw one of the guys from one of the other groups put it on our page. So I was like, oh,
Yes.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, he kind of wants to buy it, but he's getting a lot of backlash. A lot of fans are giving a lot of backlash because, let's be honest, the dude's like a hardcore New England Patriots fan. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, how would that look? Him buying the rights to. I mean, I love the dude. I watch. I got him on Twitter and on Instagram, and he does this show. I forgot his name. I'm trying to remember his name. But anyway, I'll look it up.
What? It's Big T.
Man, come on, T. Don't, man. My heart. I lost all my notes. My heart just dropped when I read that caption right now. No football this year. COVID.
It's gonna be most likely no college football, but even
college,
there's a few conferences saying they still want to play, and now I know the parents for a lot of the kids in the Big Ten were petitioning to get college football back. The Big Ten. I mean. The NCAA is pretty much saying no, it's not happening. Wow. So hopefully it doesn't transfer to the NFL, Tony, because we actually said before there's only 9 players right now positive on the NFL COVID reserve list. So we're looking pretty good. So I think there's going to be football. Get that negativity out of here, man.
Hey, but getting back quick on the name of Barstool Sports. It's actually his name was Dave Portney. I don't know if you ever see him. He does a pizza online review where he goes into pizza and takes 2 bites, and he'll give you the rating on the pizza shop. He does it all over the country. He'll go, like, let's say, New Jersey, go in a pizzeria, come out. He goes, all right, the rules, takes 2 bites, and gives you the breakdown on the pizza. Well, anyway, that's the guy from Barstool Sports, and his quote is, after a brief conversation with those who matter, I am here to say we are very serious about buying the naming rights of the Buffalo Bills Stadium, and will enter the process. And, it's a lot of people, like I said, are kind of upset because he's a New England fan. So, it's kind of like, I don't know.
The only time I've seen him, I think I was looking for Bills Mafia stuff, and I think he did like a little show coming around and talking with them. And I think it was a few years when they were playing New England. So he seemed
How about Bills
right.
Mafia Field? How about Bills Mafia Field? I mean, come on.
We'd have to start a collection because I didn't think this guy had that. Yeah, I didn't think he had that much money, but I guess he does. Jesus, to be able to afford it, because this is going to be a pretty penny. As long as it's not Bidet Stadium. I mean, Barstool Sports Stadium.
I don't know. Or just one bite field, because all he says is like just one bite to taste the pizza.
It ain't gonna work. Right either. No, that's no.
But
good,
you know what? It's better than that toilet bowl place that was interested.
That's what I'm saying.
Anything is better than that. Anything is better than that, my man.
We can't have no Bidet Stadium or no toilet field. Welcome to the toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl. No.
Shit's about to get real, or shit's going to go down.
It's about to go.
Pittsburgh Steelers coming into a whole world load of shit right now, and I don't know if I should say shit, but you had so many puns you could have went with that wouldn't have been able to go on TV. But anyway, I mean,
I'd have a lot of my friends, my Jet fans, and they'd be like, "You see, now the name matches the team." I say some dumb crap like that, and it would be on again.
The first people would have jumped on it would have been the guys from South Park. They would have had like Mr. Hanky calling the game or something.
Oh yeah, forget about it. I don't even want to go there.
So, some moves were made by the Bills this week. Here we go. We start off the Bills. The few signings they had was Justin Zimmer, who was picked up by the Bills. Actually, he was a 2016 undrafted free agent out of Ferris State by the Bills, which I don't remember this guy. He's 6'3", 292 pounds. The last 2 seasons, because I guess he played on our practice squad or he got cut. 2018, he played for Atlanta, played in 1 game, no tackles. Then we go down to 2019, played for Cleveland. He was in 2 games. He had 5 combined tackles, 2 solo, and 1 tackle for a loss. I mean, this is more of a depth chart move. Will he make the team? I don't know.
I don't know, but he signed with the Bills as an undrafted free agent back in 2016. he didn't make the squad, like you said. He was waived on August 30th that year. And then he spent a little bit of time in New Orleans Saints practice squad, like you said. And he actually made his debut with the Atlanta Falcons in 2018. And I also spent time with the Cleveland Browns, like you said. And he's only had 5 tackles. So.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess he left a lasting impression, and they brought him back. So let's see what happens. He's probably a very long shot to make the squad. Yes, another guy they brought in was another defensive tackle, Tanzel Smart. Now Tanzel Smart, he's 6'1", 295. Played 3 years with the Rams. Total of 21 tackles, 1 pass defended. He was a 6th round pick in 2017 out of Tulane. So I mean, he's gotten more work in during games, so he might have a better shot to make it. 6'1", 295 is a little, stouty, but I don't know. I think these 2 guys are just going to be, fill-ins for practice.
That could be for the practice squad. I mean, Smart's still a young kid. He's 25 years old. You know what I mean? Like you said, he played for the Rams for the past 3 years. He was a 6th rounder at 189 overall in the 2017 draft. He made 4 starts as a rookie. I mean, he's young. So, a lot of these guys that, Bean and McDermott pick up, they look for that hard, hard-nosed working type blue-collar guy. So who knows, if they're coming on, even if it's give the starters good looks, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If they think they're worthy of it for practice squad, hey man, it's an asset for us. As far as I'm concerned,
I think if out of these 2, maybe Smart, because he's been sitting behind Darnold over there, and he's not going to beat him out for the defensive tackle spot, but he did play in a few games. He has a few tackles, 21. Not that great in 3 years, but that just shows you he wasn't playing much. He's behind these other guys. But they both have some knowledge of the game. To make room for them, one guy, which, they brought in actually last week, Niles Scott, with an undisclosed injury, they cut him. But the guy, I was a little weird to see him go by was Nick Easley. Wide receiver. We have so many wide receivers right now. And I thought Nick Easley might get down towards the final cuts. Yeah, I guess, with the 2 rookies, they're saying they're playing very well.
They learned the playbook quick. Yeah, man,
He got let go. I mean,
it's just such a logjam at the receiver position at the Buffalo Bills. It's kind of like, this is where you have to shine. Now at the practice squad, not practice, at camp right now, what's going on? Everybody, I'm seeing some videos that are popping out with these amazing catches with Josh Allen doing these deep throws. And, from what I saw, Brown burnt Trey, and they said the whole squad went crazy. Like, he got beat deep, and the whole squad went crazy. So they're getting that practice. I mean, you're playing against the best. I mean, that's the advantage about the Buffalo Bills that we have right now in this offseason, in this camp, because our wide receivers, which are some of the best, you got Diggs, you got Brown, we got some of the best receivers going against the best defense. So I mean, that's the best gauge to see how we're gonna do. Hopefully they'll gel before 3 weeks from now. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing when you're going against, like you said,
good competition.
Best guys are really good guys going back and forth. I didn't even know that Brown beat Trey, but they did say the rookie, the Denzel, not Denzel. Oh man, the kid out of UCF. Supposedly he beat Trey today for a touchdown. So Davis supposedly beat him. So I'm like, good thing he's giving up these touchdowns in practice. Kurt from the K&K show. Drew Lock, boys. Drew Lock. Oh, boy. Jerry Judy is a beast. I did see one video with Jerry Judy blowing somebody out of the water on his team. Yeah, he's got a lot of weapons. I think, don't we play Denver this year? We do. But Jerry's going to be shut down, Kurt. White's going to shut him down, Kurt. So we'll see what happens. We might have to switch like shirts or jerseys or something. You're going to have to wear Bills gear or something, and maybe I'll wear Denver gear. Get a Denver Broncos Tebow T-shirt on discount somewhere. So,
hey, speaking of videos and stuff like that, I don't know if you saw AJ Epinesa. There's a video going around of him blowing up. Oh my gosh, now I forgot his name. The guy that just came from the Jets.
Winters. I didn't see it, but I was reading about it.
Ooh, you got to see it, man. I mean,
Go ahead.
he just went right through him. I mean, it's a short clip, in camp. They went head on, and AJ Epinesa, I mean, he just went right through him. And I know you've seen videos of Winters, pulling 3 pickup trucks with a rope, and that just gives you the type of strength this guy has. And then for AJ Epinesa to come off that and just come through him clean. I mean, it was just a straight bull rush. It wasn't like a technique swim move or anything. He just went right through him and just plowed him. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted to see. That's what I expected when we drafted him. I remember I told you that's my man.
Yeah. The one thing I would say about that, which I like that I heard, was that they're playing him DN, defensive tackle, all up and down the line. So he's going to learn every position on that front line, which is great. I like it. The only bad thing I don't like is when you hear that he blew up Winters, and you're like, damn, that's our offensive lineman, man. You better not be giving up that to other people. So it's a give and take, because I saw another guy who was coming back from injury was Harrison Phillips. Today, they showed a clip. I saw him blowing by Mitch Morse, a starting center. He went by, looked like he got a little pull on his jersey, down a little, and got right by him. But I was like, holy cow. That's good for Phillips, because I've been saying since before even camp started, he needs to step up.
That's right.
So, but that doesn't look good for Mitch. So it's a give and take. It's a little weird when you see that. Another move they ended up doing was punter Lachlan Edwards, who spent the last 4 seasons with the New York Jets. He has played in 64 games and averaged 45.9 yards a punt. And out of 338 punts, he pinned 108 punts inside the opponent's 20-yard line, which is pretty nice. He also carries a best of 41.6 for nets per punt, which came last year. And before that, he was around 40.2. Now, the Bills, to make room for him, cut Kareem Vedic, another ex-Jet we picked up last year, who was a punter/kicker. Now, his numbers when he was with the Jets, he never even punted in a single game. But you
said something about him the other day.
Yeah, he did try a 40-yard field goal, and he missed it. As well, he missed an extra point for the Jets. So the 2 opportunities he had to kick a 40-yarder, missed it.
He blew it.
And he blew an extra point. So, he never got in the game for the Bills. He was just there on the practice squad, I guess. And he's gone. The only bad thing is, which today I was reading, is that, Lakeland's first day with the Bills in practice wasn't that great. These guys punt pretty much from the end zone, they say, and see how far they could kick it. So his first one ended up around the 50-yard line. His second ended up on the 40-yard line, his 40-yard line, closer. So it wasn't even on the opposing team.
Yeah, that's not good.
Now, Jorges went and he kicked a punt that ended up, his first punt went on to the 35-yard line of the opposing team. And his second one was on the 45-yard line of the opposing team. So Edwards is going to have to step up if he wants. If not, he's not going to make it. Jorges, the way he's looking, he's going to keep that starting punting job, So
what's cool about this kid, I think he's from Australia, and he was a lot of punters are rare. It's a rarity to get drafted in the NFL. He was 2016. Yeah, they selected him. The Jets selected him as a seventh rounder out of Sam Houston State. But yeah, when I heard that, I mean, it's kind of a rarity to get a punter to get, drafted. But the numbers weren't too bad. 45.5 yards, 108. Inside the 20-yard line. I mean, when you look for a punter, you look for field position, and you look for somebody that could keep that opposing team within, their own red zone, if you will, between the 10, 20 in to the end zone. So, I mean, 108 punts inside the 20-yard line in 2020, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I mean,
Mhm.
that doesn't really. It's good for him, but it doesn't say that it's good for the offense he was on. In other words, the offense was pretty much, had to punt a lot. But
Yes.
being forced to punt 108 punts inside the 20 is pretty doggone good, if you ask me. So they're probably going for his accuracy and probably, in terms of pinning the opposing team back into their own, red zone. And so I don't know. Let's see how it works. But like you said, the comparison with Bojorquez and, maybe he does have the stronger leg, but maybe Edwards has more accuracy to pin somebody in the, let's say the 10-yard line,
Yeah. I mean, listen, I didn't have an issue with our punter. It could just be to push Corey a little bit more and maybe like keep his head straight, not to get too cocky and just make him work. We didn't give anything up for this guy, so it's just more competition. Third year in the league, or his fourth year coming up. He can't make the practice squad. I think it's your first 2 or 3 years you're eligible.
Yeah.
So it's just, hey, man, earn your job if you want it. You got to win it. You're not going to just take it from him. Another thing that was good. Go ahead.
Real quick, like we were talking about the 108 that he had within 20-yard, the 20-yard line. But his rookie season, he finished last in the league in net punting, averaging 37.3 yards. So he was like dead last. And then and he was 28th in yards per punt at 43. So he's going to have to work to improve his craft, bro, for sure, man. I mean, his rookie year, his numbers got a little bit better, but you got to think, man, his rookie year, he was dead last in punting with the Jets.
Well, at least you could see he's getting better. Because if he went to 30-something to 40, and now he's at 41.2 or 5 or whatever I said, at least it's improvement. And he's working on his craft. But still, if you got a guy who's punting 40 to the 35 and 45 on the opposite side while he's just making to midfield, you'd rather go with the other guy, pin him down there. Another thing which was good to hear, this guy, it's one of my top players, I said, this year for the Bills. Dawson Knox has impressed offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. He's saying the guy is playing well and has improved his blocking. So that's one thing he's going to have to do. He's going to have to improve that run blocking if he wants to beat out Lee Smith. Personally, right now, if I was the coach, he'd be my starter, because he's versatile. And if he does improve this blocking, sky's the limit with this kid. He's just getting better and better and better. I guess working with Kittle, right? Kittle and Allen all that time is just helping him out, So kudos to Dawson Knox. Keep up the good work. Now, another one of those battles I've been watching and we've talked about that I liked is Tyler Bass and Steven Hauschka. More kickers. I like this battle because I told you if I was the Bills, I'd call up the New York Giants right now, Big T's team over there, Bobby's team, be like, hey, I'll trade you Steven Hauschka. And I'd let him go. On Monday, they separated him on Monday. Monday, he went 6 for 4. They didn't put up what he ended up kicking. 6 for 9. And then on Tuesday, Steven Hauschka went 6 for 7. Which what he hit, a 53-yarder, and on that he went for 6 for 7, and he did hit a 53-yarder on Tuesday. So it was a nice long kick for Steven. We're used to him making those. Now, did you hear about the numbers today?
No, I did not.
All right, so I saw this and I was like, I got to update it. That's why my papers are all over the place. It's just a little crazy. So today, Steven Hauschka, actually, I'm going to start with Tyler Bass, because Tyler Bass went and he hit it was during 11-11. So they had the guys coming at him, giving him some pressure, see how he did. He hit a 33-yarder, a 44-yarder, a 52-yarder, and a 55-yarder. But he missed a 44-yarder. So he missed one.
Yeah.
Now,
he shanked it bad. I heard that one.
Did he?
I heard it was really bad.
So Steven went and he hit his 33-yarder. He hit his 44-yarder. And then he missed
the 50-plus
51-yarder 3 times in a row.
Yep.
That's not looking good. You got a kid over here kicking a 55, even though he missed the 44.
They said, I heard it today. They said he hit the 55 with plenty to boot.
Really?
So I don't know, man. It's heating up definitely. But the advantage that Huska has is he's been here and he's been in the inclement weather.
Yes.
This kid right here, he's got a leg. Definitely got a leg. I'm not taking anything away from him, but experience right now overcomes, the jitters per se. If you want to look at it that way, we got to see how it's going to be in game speed, real guys coming at you full speed, inclement weather. I wouldn't count Huska out just yet.
No, I like Hausker, but if you got this kid and he's on your practice squad and he's booting these kicks like this, other teams are going to hear about it. Other teams are going to watch it, and they'll just pluck him for your practice squad. If I could get something from Steven Hausker, I'd do it. Like I said,
a lot of teams have problems with kickers last year.
Yeah,
who had
the Giants were one of them, and they ended up cutting their Rojas or whatever it is. I think they signed. Gore or something. I don't know. One of these older guys.
I believe, wasn't it Pittsburgh too that had problems with their kicker too? Pittsburgh had a hard kicker too.
Maybe.
I remember,
Chicago had problems with their kicker for a while, but I think they get
gold. If he does good and they follow, hey, they might pluck him, you never know. I mean, I think he got one more year on his contract with us still?
I think it's one more, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If I could get a 6th round, 7th round pick, I don't care. I'd take anything for him. Keep the youth, and you're saving some money too. So, Big T, tell your team to call us. We'll work this out. And the only good thing is this was during 11-11, so he had a rush coming. Yeah, it's different. There's no crowd screaming. The wind's not really whipping, but they're actually kicking in the stadium because they're working out in the stadium. So that's a good thing. He's getting used to the winds in there, even though it wasn't a bad day. But at least he's getting the feel of being in there. Some notes here. Quentin Jefferson missed practice on Wednesday with foot soreness. So they're saying it's not really that bad, but foot soreness. Another guy, Tommy Sweeney, is still on the PUP list with his foot injury. It's not good for him. Dawson Knox is stepping it up. If Lee Smith is looking good, if Tyler Croft is working, and if Crone's working, this kid, he's one of those guys I thought might be able to help push somebody out. I thought, but the only good thing for him, it's his 2nd year. He'll be able to go onto the practice squad, heal up, and then if they need him down the road, they can bring him back in. But I would like to see this kid in there and getting some practice, but with the foot injury, it's kind of tough. We all know Tyler Croft. In a week or two, he might hurt his pinky or something.
You never know. Just speaking of injuries, I told you earlier, I saw a tweet about cornerback Josh Norman. They said he went down with a leg injury today after intercepting a pass and was being evaluated per Jay Skursky from Cold Front Report. And this was his tweet. He said, official from the Bills, cornerback Josh Norman suffered a leg injury during practice. He is continuing to be evaluated. And there was a follow-up on there from a guy named Michael Biancuzzo. I guess he was present at the practice. Yeah, and he said he's good, never left the field, and was back on the exercise bike. Probably a cramp. He's going to be fine. So that was good news, because once I saw that, man, my heart dropped. Like, man, we can't get no injuries than major players like that. I mean, any player at that. Yeah. But once the follow-up came out that he's good, that he was on the exercise bike and never left the field, it kind of like, hopefully it was just cramping. It's been hot. Hopefully it's just that.
Well, the thing was, because I saw on another website, they said, when he picked it off, he tried to return it for a touchdown. And he got tackled. And the offensive player, when they tackled him, ended up rolling up on his leg. So that caused him maybe a pull or something. They said they worked on him for like 10 minutes. And then, like you said, he went onto the bike, was
that's
pedaling
good,
around.
Like, no.
So yeah, no, that's an injury we wouldn't want. Another guy I think I had, where is it at, was Levi Wallace. There you go, corner to the other cornerback. He ended up practicing on Tuesday. He was back on practice on Tuesday. He missed Monday because of his back, I believe it was. And then he came in, he created a turnover. So he's fighting for his spot. He knows, man, he can't be out there too long. you're out there, Josh is going to take that. And Josh has been looking good in some of these highlights I've been seeing on the videos, like attacking the ball, got that interception today. So he wants that spot, man. He's not going to let Levi win it easy, you know? So that's one of those good battles. I mean, I like seeing we're not getting as much footage.
I haven't heard anything about Levi.
Get.
Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything about Levi? I haven't seen anything.
On Monday he sat out because he had back soreness. So Tuesday he came back and he practiced and he was blocking passes. He looked good. He was out there. He was putting in work. So you know,
I seen one with Josh Norman, man. He looked great, man.
He jumped the ball. I saw that one.
Yeah, when he jumped the ball, jumped the route. So I mean, I'm so stoked, man. 24 days left, man. 24 days. I don't even know how to act.
The only thing I'm going to say about your boy Josh there was I was reading about the interception, and supposedly Allen didn't have a good day today. So Allen was struggling today.
Oh, okay. So now you're going to blame it on Allen.
No.
Here we go. Okay. There you go.
No. So what was happening?
Hey, how come you can't say Josh Norman had a good day?
No, listen, he looked good. What was it? Wednesday. He was on point. You know, the guy was making some nice plays. Today, supposedly, Josh was waiting for, I think, was it a screenplay or something to develop? And, you know, he just ended up trying to force it, I guess. Yeah, it took too long. And Norman just jumped the ball and picked it up. It's good for Norman, you know?
Good for him. But some of the videos I've been seeing with Josh Allen, man, I mean, he threw a couple of bombs, man, and accurate within the receiver's reach. You know, before that, I know it's practice. I know it's not full game speed. I know, you know, he doesn't have, you know, a big lineman coming up full speed, you know, ready to crash them. But man, yeah, I mean, the throws were crisp, beautiful balls that were thrown. They were not wobbly. They were strong. You know, they were strong, and the receivers, man, they're going for this, man. I'm really liking what I'm seeing in these videos that are coming up.
Well, the thing with this year is everybody knows this is all you have. You don't have preseason to show what you can do. You're not going to be getting any game, so you have to show what you could do. Go all out and practice every day.
Absolutely.
Especially for these rookies and the guys who are on the bubble. They have to make a name for themselves. If not, hey, they're going to be out. It's not going to be too long. Look at Nick Easley. I thought he'd be on there. He's gone.
I know.
That's out of all the guys so far that got cut, he surprised me. I was surprised that Long ended up getting released. But that just goes to show you. And maybe the Bills saw it. Maybe he wasn't putting in that work in practice, and they're like, maybe we'll let him go.
So what do we have right now? We have 81 players, correct? Right now,
81 players because of Christian.
When's the final cut? 53-man roster.
See, I was going to talk about that later because that's next week's show. I think we're going to end up doing the cuts just to do our cuts.
We're gonna be busy this week
before the next show, so we could do our picks for the game and maybe do who we think was going to be our starters and stuff. Anyway, final cuts. It has to be done by September 5th. You got to get down to 53 players. September 6th. See, I wasn't surprised. I thought this changed. 10 practice squad players have to be picked by September 6th. For some reason, I thought it was supposed to be 12 this year because of the whole COVID thing. Maybe I'm wrong. So we're going to have to look in that. So that means we got to chop 28 players. All right.
Man, we're going to be busy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to have to see it. And like I said in the past, just me playing Madden and I'm being on the Bills and the guys I draft, you know, I hate cutting these guys. It feels so bad. So just imagine in real life, these coaches who build a rapport with these guys, you have to call them in and be like, sorry, but you didn't make the team. You know, and just keep it up.
So maybe somebody it's probably going to go down. It's probably going to go down the next week, you know, to the wire because we got to see how training camp goes and who's doing what. Because right now we really don't have a lot of information on what these guys are doing. So it's kind of like a guessing game. You know, I mean, the only film I'm seeing in practice, you know, the Josh Normans, the Josh Allens, the Diggs making his catches, Beasley. You know, I mean, stuff like that. We're really not. And the only one. Besides it, like the Hogs, like AJ Epinesa going through Green. What's his name? I always forget the guy from the Jets. I just came. Winters. I don't know why I say green. You know, I'm excited for him too. You know, I mean, like we saw the video of him pulling them cars and everything. I see the strength, but I was shocked when I seen that video because I mean, he literally, AJ Epinesa literally just went through him. Maybe he didn't have correct stance or something, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at the film because there's no way. I mean, and AJ Epinesa just looks strong. He just looks, you know, he doesn't have like fat on him. He's just like a big, like a freak DN, man. Like, man, I'm just excited for him. I told you that was my guy. So, you know, I'm hyping him up a little bit more than I need to, but I'm excited. I'm excited. So coming down to the 53-man roster, it's going to be tricky, man, to pull those people out and see who we got.
Oh, yeah. No, and it stinks because, okay, you're going to be able to put some guys. We got 10 guys we could put on the practice squad, and they have to be eligible for the practice squad because, you know, some of the guys already played more than 3 years or 2 years, whatever it is exactly. I got to look that up. So you're not going to be able to save those guys. They're going to end up gone. And I'm not even going to say, hey, you know, speculate who's going to get cut anywhere else, because we could keep 10 guys and they might get pushed away also because depending on who cuts who. They're watching a player from another team. They'll say, hey, I want that guy. Pick him up. Sorry, you're off our practice squad, or sorry, you're getting cut again. So it's all tough, but at least we'll come up with our 53 for the squad and go from there.
We got to see how the linebackers are going to play out because, you know, New England have lost their whole linebacker core. So, you know, they're going to be watching.
That's the thing, too. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, no. New England loves taking our players too.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of surprise trades, a lot of pickups that, you know, even with us, you know, that kid from Jacksonville that we were talking about. They're just asking him for a second rounder, which is it's really nothing for that guy. He's bad, but we don't have no room for him. I don't think we could do anything with him.
My thing, like I said, if I was going to do it, I wouldn't give up. Well, you could give up a second round pick as long as you know he's going to sign. He could take what's his name's money, Murphy's money after the year if they keep him. You know, if not, to say, hey.
Now, what do you think about that situation? You think they're going to trade him or cut him?
I actually like the guy. He's been playing better.
I like the guy. I love the guy, but he got 1 year left on his contract. You know.
Well, listen, if it was a perfect world, I'd call up Jacksonville, say, hey, Jacksonville, we'll give you Murphy and maybe a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick for Ngagwe or however you say his name. And hopefully we sign him. And then you take Murphy's money and give it to him. And now you have him and Jerry or him and AJ Epinesa, you know, next year. You got, especially if you could pair him up with AJ, if AJ steps up. And now you have Ngagwe, who's like 20-something. He's very young. So you have 2 very young defensive ends. You have Ed Oliver in the middle and maybe Harrison Phillips if he steps up. And look at that youth right there in that line. You're set for years. You know, that would be
the only thing about that is Jerry Hughes, man. Jerry Hughes has to have a breakout year this year. He has to. If not, he's gone, man. I think
that's the thing too. He has, 2-3 more years on his contract? Yeah. He's got a nice contract.
He's got to do something this year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, and that was another note. He was all clear from injury, so he suited up today and practiced with the squad. He's expecting to have a great year. You know, honestly, I hope he does. I like Jerry Hughes, but he's getting a little.
I love him. He's a great player, great guy. He was a beast a couple years ago. You know, this year is his year. He said he has to step up. It came out of his own mouth. I have to step up this year. I want to get back to all pro status again. So he's going to have to, you know, get in there. If not, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I mean, we got all this talent at that position, and there's guys that we could get for cheap too that are, they're ballers, man. So, you know, that's definitely a person I want to keep my eye on this year is Jerry Hughes.
I would have to go look back at the trade we did with Minnesota. Did we gave up do we have a second next year? See, that's something I'd have to look up. But again, I would try to add.
We gave a lot. We gave up a lot. I know that.
I would
put it this way: Diggs was our first rounder. Diggs was our first rounder. So that I remember. But that was fine. I think Diggs was pretty good. There's a few things that would have to happen. You'd have to see if the salary cap's going to take a big cut, like they're saying they might. So that might hinder
but because you want to get Tre'Davious signed, you want to get Milano signed, you take care of your home guys first. And if they did trade for this guy, you're going to have Murphy's money out there. So that's one contract. You're not going to have Steven Hauschka. That's another contract. So right there, you're looking at about $13 million or so, just those two players that have cleared up in cap space.
Yeah.
So
hey, real quick go back to the Diggs
trade.
The Vikings had agreed to send Diggs and a 2020 7th round pick to Buffalo, and we gave up a first rounder, a 5th rounder, a 6th rounder, and a 2021 4th round selection. So
we have a second round pick we could give to Jacksonville for a hell of a player if they did it. But
the thing is, we got these guys that get the contract, they got to get their money. So we're going to be in a little bit of a problem if with all these contracts coming up.
Well, that's what I said. The one thing I don't like is that one rumored team to be in play for him was the Jets. I don't want the Jets to get this guy, Or another was the Eagles.
I don't want anybody there.
That's fine. I don't care. Go to the Eagles. That's okay. Let's move on a little. Another guy who missed practice on Wednesday was Gabriel Davis, but he returned today. He had a leg contusion. Actually, no, he missed practice. Was it Wednesday's or Tuesday's practice? Came back. He looked good, and supposedly he toasted Tre'Davious White for a touchdown. Like I said before, good thing is Tre'Davious is only giving up touchdowns in practice, not during the game, which is great. And
he's letting them slide.
Yeah, like you said, supposedly these two rookies are playing well, man. They know the playbook.
They learn the playbook quick. That's
Davis's route running is supposedly getting even better. Hodgkins, they're saying his speed is crazy. He's built like a tight end, but he runs like a wide receiver, and he's catching everything. So I think these two kids, man, are going to be on not our starters, but they're going to be on our depth chart. I think two guys are losing jobs.
Definitely. And they'll definitely have packages built around them with Dable.
Oh, yeah. But then you also see Duke Williams. He's not going away easy. You see those catches he's made right over the wide.
I saw a catch.
For it.
The corner had him the rights with an interception. He just snatched it from him. That's what you get when you get a big body, tall, strong receiver, man. I mean, I don't know who it was. I think it was oh my gosh, now I forgot.
Was it Johnson or something?
Dean Marlowe. It was Dean Marlowe. They were going up for it. It was a jump ball. Dean Marlowe had it. I mean, literally, defensive players were already pointing the other way, and Duke Williams just snatched it from him, which is that goes to go and show you that you have to have a big, strong receiver. So I'm rooting for Duke too, man. But man, even about McKenzie, where's he gonna fall in line? I mean, Dable loves the jet sweep too, So it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. You could try to figure out what's gonna happen, but look what happened with Nick Easley. You thought he would stick around for a little while, and he was first ones to get cut.
Yeah, I told you. Like the thing is, it's not like back in the day when every say preseason game you had to chop a few guys, then the next one chop them. Now last year they started. It was after the last preseason game, 2 days later or whatever, you had to cut them. Thanks, babe. Saying I'm on fire. I don't know. We're hot. Anyway, so it's a younger version of me.
There you go.
So, you got these guys are going to be there for a while, and then they get chopped unless somebody gets hurt, and then you get cut earlier, which kind of stinks. But they could bring them back if somebody else gets hurt, which hopefully doesn't happen. We don't want no injuries. We want these guys to stick in there and get better and better and better. Now, two more things I guess we could talk about. So Adam Shine, I didn't think I told you about this one. I just saw it and I was like, let's talk about it. We've talked about this kind of before. So Adam Shine of the NFL.com made a list of his top defenses for the season called the Shine 9. So from 9 down, his picks were the New Orleans Saints, which were on that. I think it was a CBS Sports one we talked about that one time. Chicago Bears, Kansas City Chiefs at 7, Tampa Bay at 6, Baltimore at 5, Pittsburgh at 4, San Fran at 3, Buffalo at 2, and then he had the Chargers at 1. We saw that list last time. I think they had New England at 1, but this was before everybody.
Where's New England on that list? Where's New England on that list?
They're not in the top 9 now.
They're not.
Remember
Because they lost a whole linebacker core.
Exactly. When they first did that list, they had their squad. So I even had New England at 1, I think, or something. But they traded them down. It's kind of weird. Like I said, with that other list, they have New Orleans Saints, okay, at 9. Not bad. They were at 13th last year. They made some moves. Chicago Bears actually lost a few people, especially, I think, one of their corners. They dropped. Last year they were at 4th, so he has them at 8th this year. Kansas City was 7th last year. I didn't think their defense was that good. I was surprised when they were at 7th. They were at 7th last year. Tampa Bay, this is kind of crazy. I know they made some moves, but they have them at 6. Tampa Bay was ranked 29th last year.
I know. I don't see that one, and I don't see Baltimore at number 5 either. I see them kind of higher up.
Yeah, Baltimore was 3rd last year, so they're saying they're going to drop to 5. They're moving Pittsburgh up. Pittsburgh was at 4. Was at 6 last year, and they have them at 4. I mean, honestly, I don't even know who the hell's on Pittsburgh, really. I don't follow them. I don't like them as like I used. Like when they had Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green back in the day, or Polamalu, Woodson, all those guys. I like them. I like watching their defense. I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. But now, I don't know. So they're dropping from 6th to 4th. I guess they got better. San Fran 49ers. They got a good squad up there. Last year they were 8th. They have them at 3. And our Buffalo Bills, he kept them at 2. And they were at 2 last year. So, I don't know, man. I think our team is looking good. They could stay at 2. They might go up to 1. Hopefully, as long as they stay in the top 3. But I thought we got better with Norman, with AJ coming in, healthy Murphy and healthy Hughes. They could just be very nasty. Second year in Oliver, the squad could be even better. Levi getting in his second year, it's going to be nasty. But he had
Levi alone getting better should put us above number 2.
Yeah,
just that, because he was the major part of missed tackles. So him getting better would just improve the whole team as a whole.
I know you like picking on the poor guy, but like I said, nobody was going at White. If they did, they ended up paying the price. That's why he was tied for interceptions. So he got picked on more. That's what's going to happen. He's like the younger brother. But you know what? This year, it's going to step up. The younger brother put on 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Be ready to fight. But I don't see this. I mean, I know the Chargers have that safety. He was a rookie last year, played very well. And then they signed Harris Jr., so they think they're going to jump from 14 to number 1. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't see that happening either.
I'll tell you right now, I think the Chargers, their defense is going to be on the field more.
Their offense.
Tyrod Taylor, I mean, I liked him a little. I wasn't a big fan of him. Lynn loves the guy. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think they're going to
drop. A lot of people, give him a hard time over here, but I'm with you. I didn't really see it. I mean, he was a great scrambler, made a couple plays here and there, but you know what? Good luck to him over there. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, good luck until he plays us.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, I don't know if you saw it. I ended up seeing it later on in the day on Bill's Wire. Frank Gore says he could have reached 1,000 yards if the Bills had used him more. I mean, Gore had 599 yards, rushing yards, and averaged 3.6 yards a carry. According, actually, the Jets supposedly said this, that in the first 7 games, Gore had 95 carries. In the last 9 games, he had 71 carries. So in total, he had around 166 carries. Targeted 16 times. He had 13 catches for 100 yards. Not bad. One stat I did, I was like, let me look at Singletary real quick. Singletary had 151 carries, had 775 yards. This is the little thing I didn't like, which I saw, was he was targeted 41 times.
Oh.
He had 29 catches. So what happened to those other 12 catches, man?
Yeah.
He only had 194 yards. I thought it would have been more. So now, my thing is, Frank, the last time he had over 1,000 yards was in 2016 for Indy. So I don't think.
Man, look, I love Frank Gore. I love Frank Gore, don't get me wrong. But he did lose a step. I mean, you could see it in the game. He did lose a step. And, I'm not going to lie to you. I was I was a little skeptical with Brian Dable's offensive scheme. It was kind of predictable.
Yeah.
You know, even in the last game we had in the playoffs where we were winning, what was it, 16-0, all of a sudden it was just run middle, off tackle, run. You know, it's kind of like predictable. It's like, how you gonna run? How you gonna run a guy that's lost a step in between the tackles when they're putting 8 guys in the box on you already? I mean, it's kind of hard to had they used them differently. I mean, if there was more play action passing and different situations, he could have probably got, I don't think 1,000 yards, but I mean his numbers would have been way better than what they were. But it's just you got to look at all the variables that we're in. You know what I mean? The way the offensive wasn't really gelling with Josh Allen making a couple mistakes here and there. He wasn't really accurate in the deep ball, so it doesn't really set up for the play action. And he just, bottom line, he lost a step. I mean, when you could definitely see the difference between Singletary and him when they were when they both exchanged. You could see the speed difference, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line to it.
Gord, he's strong. My thing was, I didn't even know he was targeted 16 times until I saw this. I wanted to look up. So after his first 95 carries, what happened? Did it drop? Because for what I remembered, every time Frank Gore came in, you knew he was going to get the ball. And teams were tackling him like maybe 2 yards in. I mean, he averaged 3.6. I didn't even think he had that average that high, because it was like once he came in, you run in the ball, he got hit. Pretty much like, when Lee Smith was in, you're running the ball.
You're running the ball.
At least with Singletary, you might get that little toss out.
One good thing, he did better than Reggie Bush, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, Reggie. But I didn't think he really got a good shot anyway. Reggie didn't really get
I think he finished with us, -1 yard or something like that, some crazy stat.
Yeah, he really didn't get a shot. That was more like, hey, go catch punts, see if you could do it, maybe some field goal returns. He really didn't get a good shot unless he just didn't learn the scheme, which you should have, But anyway, I don't think he would have gotten it, especially people just knew. You just know, okay, Frank's in, he's getting the ball. Frank's in, he's getting the ball. So, I mean, I wish him well, except for when he plays us, but I wish him well. I don't think he's going to get 1,000 yards for the Jets. If he does, I would be surprised. I hope he does.
What's his excuse if he doesn't get it over there?
I don't know. Well, I mean, he's not going to get more carries than Le'Veon Bell.
No, absolutely
so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And Le'Veon Bell, the Bills shut him down, which was very nice. One of the last things I guess we'll touch on real quick, I don't know if you saw this either, was Stephon Gilmore's comment.
No, I did not. Actually.
Stephon Gilmore posted on Twitter, "Thanks for showing me the routes the teams work on, laugh out loud." So being that the Bills somebody posted them working on towards the end zone.
But come on Twitter, man. Really?
And they showed him, and he's like, "All right, good. Thanks for showing me your routes. Now I know what to expect."
That's bull. You're going to make me want to curse, man. You could do anything. The quarterback could be like, do a post, do come on, a curl. Come on, they're just running routes. They're not actually.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore, get out of here.
My thing is like Vince Lombardi said, they could know it's coming. We're going to run that power sweep.
You just got to stop it.
Exactly. You got to stop it. You know, when you get to the end zone, it's going to be a little post. It might be a little drag route. You're not doing a fly because you only have 5 yards. So you have an idea. You're going to try to do some combos, get some crossing. Hopefully the corners trip up. It's like
the thing is, listen, Stephon can say anything he wants. Okay, let's say he does have a matchup with Diggs. You still got John Brown. You still got Cole.
Easily.
I mean, man. I mean, come on. You're not going to stop all 3 of them. That's the beauty of having the depth at wide receiver that we have. We're not just one-dimensional with one wide receiver that, okay, we're going to put our best defensive player, a la Stephon Gilmore, on Diggs and have nobody else to compensate. Man, we got Gabriel Davis. We got the other kid. We got Duke. I mean, there's so many other different matchups that we're going to have. That's the beauty of having depth at wide receiver, and that's why I'm so excited for the season for the Buffalo Bills.
Did you see, because I told you it was going to happen, did you see people are commenting that Zach Moss is going in there, and he's showing that he has hands. He's catching passes.
You said it.
Looking really good.
It.
And they're saying, man, this guy is stepping up, and he's showing stuff people were
He's
like.
Got a chip on his shoulder, man. He got a chip on, man. All these guys that are coming in have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. They got the mentality of now or never. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm excited for the Bills season coming up. Hopefully this COVID crap don't affect the NFL. The numbers are looking good. Like you said, 9 people affected out of 32 teams, which is good. But I'm a little skeptical for what happened with the Mets, as you see on the screen here. 2 of them got, So we'll see how it goes. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Let's wait for – we got 24 more days, and we're counting down. So next week, what are we going to do next week? We're going to try to get our cuts in.
Oh, well, yeah. Hold on. The one thing before that, too, was what's the fullback / tight end's name? The guy I tell you I like, that you told me he was a special teams beast. Oh, my God. I can't remember his name offhand right now. But I say he's probably going to beat out DeMarco. Supposedly he was running routes at tight end also and was catching everything thrown to him. So you're a double threat out there if you're a fullback who could hit a block, and then he's running down people on special teams, and then if you're catching the ball, DeMarco might be out there.
Are you talking about – I know you're talking about the kid that for the special teams we picked up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next week, like you said, final cuts. Let's do our cut team because I was looking – at our schedule, if we stay on every Thursday night. Let me see. Pull it on my calendar. I look like an old man trying to read this. Here we go. So next week, if the final cut day is the 5th, I don't want to do it the 3rd because some of the guys might be gone by then. Kind of be like cheating. So I'd rather do next week our final cuts, and then maybe on the 3rd we'll do who we think is going to be our starting lineup and maybe our depth chart after that. And then the following week, on the 10th, is that our first game. If the season kicks off like it's supposed to, the 10th is the first game. So we could hop on here. We could talk about maybe the matchup against the Jets. We could pick our games, who's going to win Sunday games, and go from there and see how we feel. Get all
like a plan. I think we're going in blind with. I think we're going in blind with these cuts, but I mean, we don't really have a lot of information, so we'll see.
Well, nobody really does except for the people there. And I mean, we're not getting paid to hang out in camp. I wish that we were, but we can't hang out in camp.
I'm gonna have to friend some people that are out that are allowed on camp and get some inside information so I can get more cuts than you do.
There you go. Let's see how that goes. K&K show every Wednesday and Sunday night at 8:00. Bobby, I don't know if you're on, if you want to say anything or we're good. But thanks for everybody. Thanks for the few people who reached out. You guys have any questions or anything for next week, just hit us up. If you know, you watch us on I-95 Sports Network. Bobby throws it up there. You can watch it afterwards. It's on our Viva Los Bills group page. Our Viva Los Bills group page. We always put it up there. You can watch it there. And then we also have a Viva Los Bills on YouTube. We put it up there a day or two later. Come check it out. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Thanks as always, Bobby. I guess it's staying quiet. Is that your music?
Yeah, I'm playing some sound effect music for signing off.
Oh, that's you. That's you telling me to wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Wait, hold on.
Oh man, we need better music than that, man. What is that?
Hey,
yo,
it's gonna be a look. Gabriel let me not show the route. Let me not show the route because then Stephon Gilmore and start saying that he knows the route. There you go.
There you go. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Good night, guys. Go Buffalo. Vinny, peace out. Bobby in the background. Peace out. I'm hitting this end broadcast button. Peace.
Later.
Yeah.